We will begin to record. And our travel agent community is coming online now. Welcome, welcome today, Travel Week readers. We have an amazing presentation in store for you today. I'm so excited. We've got a really fun prize giveaway at the end, which I'll share about in just one moment. So as you're coming on here, I will just let you know a little bit of housekeeping to begin with. First off, our show today, we have the amazing Marlon Moreno and Ana Carolina Garcia, and they are here representing Nicaragua. It's going to be a really fun and informative show. As always, if you have any questions during the course of the webinar, please pop those into the Q&A box at the bottom. For our webinars, chat is disabled for all participants. So if you have anything that you want to chat about at all, put it into the Q&A box and we will see it there. For all your questions, I'll be back on at the very end of today's webinar to ask any of those questions that you have about Nicaragua on your behalf for Marlon and Anna to answer. And last but certainly not least, we have a really, really exciting prize giveaway featured for today's webinar. So for all agents who stay through to the very end of today's webinar, we're going to ask 5 questions at the end of the webinar that have to do with today's Nicaragua presentation. And once we ask the question, the first agent who puts their answer into the Q&A box at the bottom, so not the chat, the Q&A box, the first agent who puts their answer into the Q&A box at the after the question is asked will win a prize. And those 5 prizes we have are 5 Amazon gift cards of $50 each. So for each person who answers the question fastest first in the Q&A box, they will be winning that prize. So really exciting prize giveaway here and a really great incentive to stay through to the end and make sure you take in all the info in today's exciting webinar. And so without further ado, as you know, Travel Week is here to deliver the very best information for you to be able to craft amazing holidays for your clients. And we have Marlon and Anna here to share with you all the wonders of Nicaragua. And so with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, but I'll be here through the webinar if you need me, and I'll hand the floor over to Marlon and Anna. Hi, Marlon and Anna.
Hi, Candice. Thank you so much for such a wonderful introduction. My name is Marlon Moreno, and I work with Ana Carolina on the public relations side. We're excited to have Ana Carolina here with me all the way down from Nicaragua. She is the Director of Marketing and International Promotion. And the first thing that we want to start with is with a wonderful video. This video is the new campaign that the Nicaragua Tourism Board actually launches recently. So we're going to dive in with a video and then we'll continue with the presentation. So Candice, go ahead. Thank you so much, Candice, for showing the new campaign. So we're gonna dive in quickly into the presentation.
Okay. Just going live with that. Oh, beginning?
Yes, please.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. There we go.
There we go. So here we have an overview of what Nicaragua is actually known for is an adventurous paradise. As a destination, Nicaragua is known as the land of lakes and volcanoes. And, you're going to be able to see why Nicaragua has such an appeal for the curious and adventurous traveler. Next slide. So it's well known for its natural beauty, patrimonial cities. Nicaragua has an incredible farm to table, rustic food concept, plenty of outdoor and adventurous experiences. It is also well known for its up and coming as a wellness paradise and is very rich in local culture. And Nicaragua, as you can see from the map, is actually in the heart of Central America. To the north of the country is bordered by Honduras, and to the south is bordered by Costa Rica, and is actually has two beautiful oceans. You have the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean. Next. See some of the imageries. Nicaragua is quite rich in greenery space. Now, one of the marquee experiences in Nicaragua is the adventure. You can do from zip lining, mountain biking. You can watch. You can sleep under the stars. You can do a little bit of glamping. Uh, it is also quite rich in stunning biodiversity. It has 78 protected areas, 4 biospheres, 200 private wildlife reserves, and a plethora of natural parks. So it's actually perfect for the hiker, the kayaker. You can do so one of the marquee experiences is actually swimming with sharks in one of the lakes in freshwater water. Next. You can do a little bit of zip lining, paddle boarding in around a lake, and you can do kayaking around one of the active volcanoes. Here's one of the marquee experiences. Sandboarding is actually gaining popularity in Nicaragua. This is Cerro Negro is actually a must experience. You can actually go up to 2,400 feet and you're able to see volcanic vistas and undisturbed natural wonder. So you can do all the way and you can just come back in less than a minute, I believe. The other beautiful attribute that Nicaragua has is the patrimonial cities or colonial cities. There are two beautiful cities. One of them is Leon, which you'll be able to see on the next slide. Leon is a city that dates back to 1542, I believe. And it's quite beautiful. You can see this is one of the main cathedrals. And on the next slide, it's one of the experiences. You can go onto the rooftop. It's all white and you're able to see, you have a 365 degrees view of the city. On the next slide, this is the other colonial patrimonial city that we have. It's the postcard perfect picture. It's called Granada. It's a little bit quaint, small colonial city that you're able to walk on cobblestone streets, find a lot of boutique hotels, really cool restaurants. And here's another view of Granada. Another third important aspect for those clients that actually are looking to escape the Canadian winter, Nicaragua is well known for its unspoiled beaches. So you're able to recommend, and this is on the Caribbean coast of Nicaragua. Here you're going to be able to find a lot of boutique hotels, unspoiled beaches, and just beautiful pristine blue water. Now, the point on the Caribbean side, you're going to be able to see on your slide, um, you have Little Corn Island and Corn Island. Those are the main places where actually people travel to the Caribbean side. And you can have, you will be thinking that you're in paradise when when you're in this area. There's another view of what the Caribbean side looks like. Nicaragua is actually quite rich when it comes to culture. There's the national dance. We have what we call the maypole dance, which is it's well known on the Caribbean side. And then we have Huehuense, which is a historical dance from the 1500s. And when it comes to food, Nicaragua has an abundance of farm to table. So here are some of the dishes that you're able to taste when you come to Nicaragua. Basically, Nicaragua is an agricultural society, and it's quite delicious. Some of the traditional dishes range from fritanga, which is the one in the middle, to vigorón, rondon, which actually is a Caribbean dish. Also, Nicaragua is one of the big exporters when it comes to coffee. Most likely, when you drink your coffee from Tim Hortons or Starbucks, you're probably tasting Nicaraguan coffee. When it comes to rum, Nicaragua has an excellent rum. It's an award-winning rum, and it's well known for its ethical practices. And on the next slide, you're going to be able to see some of the dishes on a larger scale. So this is what we call fritanga. It's a national, if you want to go back, basically it's a Nicaraguan staple. You get rice, beans, plantain, you get any type of grilled meat. And you can find it from the finest restaurants or as a street food. On the next slide, you're going to be able to see this is called vigorón, which is a traditional pork rind, a little bit of cabbage salad, and yuca or cassava, as is known here in North America. And on the next slide, one of my favorite meals is rondon, which is actually some sort of a seafood bisque, but it's a traditional dish from the Caribbean side of the country. Now, when it comes to properties and places to stay, Nicaragua, it's well known for its boutique properties. There's only one inclusive resort. And the reason why there's only one inclusive resort is because we want to be able to make sure that people, when they come to Nicaragua, they're able to experience the local community, and they get to know the country and its people. There's a lot of, we have a lot of varieties of from hostels to the international chains like the Hiltons. We have as well quite a beautiful luxury boutique properties. And I'm going to run through some of them on the next slides. So here's one called Rancho Santana. It's an oceanfront property. It's perfect for that type of groups when you want to book groups or friends getaway. Ocean view, you have beautiful homes, all the amenities of the properties. Next. And on the next slide, you have Gran Pacifica Resort. These are for the type of clients that actually are looking to do a little bit of golfing as well, a little bit of resting, and have the accessibility of the water. It's a beautiful, beautiful resort. It's one of the newest. Perfect, for a little bit of resting. If you want to be in tune with nature. Here's a beautiful boutique property called Casa La Sultana, and it's beautifully decorated. It's very intimate, as you can see from some of the decor. Hikaro Lodge is a well-known property as well. These are actually houses on treetops, and it's perfect for people that actually are wanting to book wellness and yoga escapes. Here are some of the view, some of the outdoor wellness treatments you can have. Here's one of my other favorite resorts called Tree Casa Resorts. These are beautiful tree houses. and you're in the middle of nature. Here's Grand Victoria Hotel. This is a beautiful new property on the northern part of the country. It's, I believe, and Anna can correct me, but this is a 4 stars hotel. It's quite beautiful, very intimate, quite boutique. And then this is one of my favorite, which is Kalala Island. This is for the very high net worth clients that you have. You can have this private island for your clients for approximately $1 million US for a week, and you get all the amenities. You get a private chef. You get a private chef. You get private transportation. So these are some of the properties that you're able to experience. Now I'm going to hand it over to Anna because with the new campaign, the Nicaragua tourism launched 12 new routes. And over to you, Anna.
Oh, thank you, Martin. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Yes, we recently launched a new campaign called Nicaragua Fascinating Irresistible. And this helped us to create 12 touristic routes that can help you guys to your clients, to you, to build nice packages from Nicaragua, but more like a specific packages. Next, please. 3 of them are the Matagalpa route, Segovian route, and the Hinotegan route. They are at the north of the country, and mostly they will give you an information about what can you find there, like waterfalls, more being with the people, to have a moment with the Nicaraguan people, like to make tortillas, or like horseback riding, trekking, biking, hiking in beautiful mountains. This is a place that you will have a very nice weather, but I think the most special thing is that there's more than 19 waterfalls, and everything looks green and looks perfect. The nature, animals, the wildlife that we have there. Next, please. In the Hinotegan, you will find some lakes, some places that you've never been, like in the Segovian route, we have the geopark. It's the first geopark in Latin America, the second geopark in Latin America, and the only one that we have in Central America. So, and we have mountains, handicraft, nature. There's mountains and different things that you will find there. Next, please. There's some pictures of what we will see, as I was saying, that the waterfalls, the kayaking that you can do in different lakes. Nicaragua has been known from volcanoes and lakes, so there you go. You can do a lot of kayaking in the whole country. And of course, the geopark. Well, you see the 2 little boats that we have there. Next, please. Then we have the Western and the Pacific route. In one of them, we have the patrimonial cities, Granada and Leon. Granada, it's like 20 minutes from the city, and the other one, it's like an hour and a half from the city. So there are 2 beautiful colonial cities, very colorful. And the next year, they are going to be 500 years since they were built. Then we have the route of volcanoes, 26 volcanoes, 7 of them are active. In one of them, you can do the sandboard, as Marlon explained. And the other one, you can see a lava lake, beautiful lava lake, like you are on the oceans. Then we have the route of the Great Lake Volcano. It's the Sweetwater Lake Volcano, a huge one with 365 islands. In each of them, you can have some private properties, hotels, restaurants, and some animal islands you will find them. Next. The other one, please. There's some pictures. The one on top, it's the Masaya volcano, where you can go on top of the crater in your car, and you can see from there a huge lava lake. Then down there, you have the patrimonial city, Granada. And the other one is Ometepe Island. It's the island with 2 volcanoes. One is active, the other one is not. And it's a beautiful island where you can have more like eco lodge, hotels, you can do some yoga retreats, and beautiful natural pools you will find in that island too. Next, please. Then the Central and the Caribbean routes, the Volcania routes and the Caribbean routes has been, well, the Caribbean part, the blue ocean, you know, different type of culture from the Pacific side, and even the type of the food, as Marlon said, we eat a lot of, in the Caribbean side, we eat a lot of seafood with coconut milk, coconut oil. Then we have our San Juan River route. It's down there just close to Costa Rica. Well, you will have a perfect wildlife, eco lodge, hotels, and beautiful landscape in that area too. Next, please. In most of them, you will look for natural reserves. We have a beautiful natural reserve, biosphere reserve. We have some museums, archaeological sites, farms, waterfalls, and in Bluefields in the Caribbean side, you have Corn Island, Little Corn Island that Marlon's mentioned about it. They are very beautiful. Iceland is like another country, but you know, it's because of the culture, the people, the nature, and the warm people that you will find there. The next, please. And that mostly are the representation of what I was telling you about the Caribbean side. You see the blue ocean and the people, the dancers, the fun part, the handicraft, and some history that we have in many places, like in the Volcano routes and the Rio San Juan River routes. Then we have the gastrocraft and beach, of course, the gastronomy. He told you about the fritanga, many things that we have 15 departments and 2 Caribbean autonomies region, and in each department, even we have different type of food, and it's a traditional food. That's something that we wanted to keep, you know, because we want tourists to try all the culture and all the things that we have that are made from our grandmas. And of course, the handicraft, many handicraft, different places, or you will find this type of handicraft in the beaches. Of course, we have the Pacific side and the Caribbean sides. In the Pacific side has been very popular, the surf and these small boutiques that they have the unique style that you will live in. And when you visit Nicaragua, we are not, we have only one resort, all-inclusive resort. The other hotels are more boutique hotels, and they have an exclusive, you know, like type of bill that you will fall in love with. Next, please. And well, gastronomy, when it comes to name, I will mention the name, but maybe you will know quesillo is a corn tortilla with the cheese, that enchiladitas, bigoron. You saw the picture of bigoron, and we eat a lot of corn. You know, we love tortilla like every time, even morning, afternoon, lunch, dinner, anytime we love corn. And of course, the handicraft, you will have different type of stone made in handicraft too, in a white stone, white things and different colors and stuff like that. Like I have this, I always with me, my huehuense, it's all the time traveling with me just to see, just for you to see what type of handicrafts we make here and the type of dance we have. Next, please. Some of the pictures, some of the sweet stuff that we have to do. We have some traditional dessert and most of them are made with fruits. We have a lot of fruits in Nicaragua that you will enjoy, and they're very sweet. And we, of course, make some, how do you say, marmalade to eat it with bread. So thanks. The next one. And some good news, if some of you don't know, this year we are not asking anymore since July, I think. The government of Nicaragua just announced a key change of the protocol, so we're not asking, not anymore asking for the vaccination card or the PCR test. So you can enter free in our country without that. So next. Some of the airlines that are visiting Nicaragua right now, we have Aeromexico from Mexico, Avianca. We have connections from Miami and El Salvador too. Then we have Copa Airlines from Panama, Guatemala, and Costa Rica, Conviasa from Panama and Cuba, United Airlines from Houston, American Airlines from Miami, Sansa from Costa Rica, and of course we have national airline that it is La Costeña that can connect you to from Managua, the capital, to Corn Island or other airports that we have in Bluefields and Puerto Cabezas too, is in the Caribbean side of the country. There you go. I think I was like.
That was very short and sweet. Thank you, Anna,
Yeah.
so much.
Yes, thank you, Anna, for that. That was lovely. Marlon, Anna, do you have anything else that you want to add before we move on to the question and answer portion and the prize giveaway portion?
Sure. We're currently working, for 2024, there will be, we're looking into doing a more traditional Nicaragua expert course. So be in the lookout for that particular course if you want to be selling Nicaragua in 2024. As well, reach out to myself or Ana Carolina when it comes to fam trips for 2024. And we're working with Mar Tours. They're putting some packages for those travel advisors that are interested in learning who actually sells Canada here who sells Nicaragua here in Canada. So we'll be sending out an email so you're able to see some of the packages along with some of these new routes. And if you have clients that are interested in Nicaragua, you're going to be able to book them through Mar Tours. So be on the lookout for that. So now we can move to the Q&A.
Awesome. I'm going to stop share here and let's move on to the Q&A first. Awesome. Okay. We had some agents on here just saying, thank you for being here. Cheryl Donovan was saying, the amazing Marlon and Anna. Yeah. So
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. Cheryl was also saying she had a client that went sandboarding while in Nicaragua and loved it. And then we have a question here from Angelica is the first question. And she's asking, are there hidden gems or lesser known destinations in Nicaragua that are worth visiting and offer a unique travel experience away from the typical tourist hotspots?
So, what is interesting is that Nicaragua, and I thank you, first of all, for the question. Nicaragua is quite well known as one of those under the radar destinations. So, every single place that you visit within the country is actually it's the art of discovery, what I would say. Most of the travelers that go to Nicaragua, they usually tend to go to the Pacific coast because that's that's one of the areas that is more developed when it comes to tourism. But as Anna mentioned, you have these new routes, and the idea with the new routes is that in every single part of the country, travelers are able to experience from, the north region, which is the agricultural region. You're able to go to farms and experience cooking with the locals. You go to the Caribbean side, you're able to experience unspoiled beaches, and you're able to experience, Nicaragua has, it's quite diverse when it comes to its heritage. We have a beautiful historical Black community in Nicaragua, which is in one of the autonomous regions. So you're able to experience, the Black culture that Nicaragua offers on the Atlantic side. Then on the south side, you continue to explore these unknown areas where you can, the activities and experience can range from, glamping under the star. You can do the volcano surfing. You can do kayaking on lakes or swim with sharks. So everything when it comes to Nicaragua is one of those destinations that is perfect for that type of curious and adventurous traveler. So hopefully I answer that question.
Yes, thank you so much for that answer. The next question we have is from Miles, and this kind of continues on with what you were just talking about. But Miles was particularly wondering about off the beaten path locations for ecotourism. Is there any that you suggest specifically for that to showcase the country's biodiversity and natural beauty?
So Nicaragua, thank you for the question. Nicaragua is actually well known as a uh, ecotourism and adventure paradise. And that's how one of the things that we have been actually working extremely hard. So people that want to be connected with nature, they're able to experience that particular the connection with nature. There is one of the northern routes. It's called the Matagalpina route, where you're able to experience rural nature, agrotourism, ecotourism, and adventure. You're able to experience natural reserves. So the whole country overall, it's well known as an ecotourism destination.
Excellent. Thank you for that answer. The next question we have is from Donald, and he is asking about opportunities for tourists to engage with local communities. So to support local initiatives or to participate in volunteer programs that have a positive social impact on the region.
So part of the new routes and some of the things that they're not part of this presentation. The whole idea of creating this new 12 routes is that you're able to, integrate yourself with the communities. And again, some of the experience ranges from agritourism to culture. Nicaragua is actually well known as well as a land of poets and writers. So one of the other things that are not part of this presentation, but we'll be able to integrate them eventually in next year, is that you're able to see what we call creative circuits. And what it is you'll have different cities. They are where you're able to go and learn, how to do handicraft, how to do ceramics, how to, cook like the locals, go to a farm, in addition to do your leisure, sun and beach experience, a little bit of, exploratory adventure experience. You're able as well to engage with the local community. And this is the whole reason why the government launched the new 12 routes, because we want to make sure that you're engaged with the community and giving back to the community.
Awesome. Thank you for that answer, Marlon. Next, we have a question from Sheila, and she's asking particularly about safety in Nicaragua. Is there any civil unrest there that tourists should be concerned about, or what is the safety things going
Sure,
on right now there? Yeah.
Thank you for that question. It's one of the key questions that always pop up. There are external organizations that measure the safety of the countries. Nicaragua actually is one of the safest countries in Central America. And I'm not just saying that because I work, with the Nicaragua Tourism Board, but as an outsider, I don't think personally I will be able to send people to places that are not safe, but it is indeed one of the safest countries in Central America. As nature has it, every country in the world has issues. Here in Canada we do. So but when it comes to the question, I think it was political unrest, or
That's right.
rest assured that it's a quite tranquil. People can actually travel. It is one of the safest countries in Central America for sure.
Excellent. Thank you for that answer. And next question comes from an anonymous participant today. And this participant is asking, where are some of the best places that travelers can find and purchase authentic Nicaraguan handicrafts, art, and souvenirs that showcase the talent and creativity of local artisans?
So sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, no problem. So where's the best place, or some of the best places for travelers to be able to purchase local handicrafts? So things that are locally made, art, souvenirs, that sort of thing.
So you're able to find that through every single spot in the country. But if you, I'm not sure if you're able to show slide number 56, which is in the Pacific coast. You have what we call the route of handicraft villages, and they usually are on every single department. So that's pretty much where the areas where you can find from paintings, handicraft. You're able to find hammocks, and so the specific route is called Gastrocraft and Beach Route, and it's along the Pacific coast of the country.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I tried to share the screen, but it was all
That's
the way
okay.
to the end still.
No
and then-
worries.
Okay. The next question we have is from Angelica, and she is asking, how can tourists contribute to sustainable tourism practices in Nicaragua, supporting environmentally friendly and socially responsible initiatives during their visit?
That's a very good question. You know, the type of traveler that actually attracts Nicaragua by default, the type of traveler that is attracted to Nicaragua by default is actually the traveler that has an environmental conscious by nature. It's something that, you know, it is par. You know, if you opt to go to a destination like Nicaragua, which is, you know, position itself as a sustainable destination, so you as an individual, you already have that ingrained in you. You know, it just follow the norms. Again, Nicaragua is one of those destinations that is not overrun by tourists. And, you know, the tourism office has made it a concerted effort in terms of maintaining that distinct and unique, that flavor to the country that, you know, if you come from a destination that you respect the environment, the surrounding, and you go to a place like Nicaragua, you know, you just follow, you know, what's been offered to you. So
Okay, great. Thank you for that answer. The next question I have is from Carl, and he is asking, how secured is it traveling backpacking? So I think he's asking about safety here, like for backpackers, which you kind of already addressed a little.
It's like I said, you always have to do your due diligence, whether you're traveling to Nicaragua, whether you're traveling to Europe or anywhere else in the world. You don't have to let your guards down. That's the bottom line. As a traveler, you have to be always mindful that you have to be always in the lookout for anything that is suspicious. So not just pertaining to Nicaragua, but, you know, what I highly recommend if you're a backpacker, which I've done it before myself when I was much younger, is, you know, you tend to travel during the day as opposed to the night, because in some of the areas you don't have any, you know, transportation service, unless you do hire a private transportation service, but you can do it at nighttime. But my suggestion is that you travel during the daylight time, but you should be actually safe to travel. And like I said, Nicaragua, it is one of the safest countries in Central America, not Latin America, but Central America. I can only speak, you know, about Central America.
Okay, thank you for
I love all
that.
these questions. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
there's
tons of-
many. We've got lots of questions here, lots of
Keep them
engaged
coming. Keep them
participants
coming.
today. Yeah, absolutely. The next question comes from Alexander, and he is asking about which are some of the best patrimonial cities to visit in Nicaragua.
So there's two of them, which we mentioned in the presentation. There is León and Granada, and those are the most beautiful marquee patrimonial cities. Now, these are the two patrimonial cities that, even if as an outsider, if you want to buy a property within these two cities, um, when you build or, you know, update your house, the house that you buy, you have to follow the strict heritage rules to make sure that, you know, it actually is part of that particular patrimonial feel to it. Even the boutique hotels, the new boutique hotels, everything has to have a standard that, you know, it's aligned with the heritage laws that the government has. So Leon and Granada are the two patrimonial cities, and Nicaragua, it's fortunate to have in Central America, you know, a specific colonial cities.
Okay, thank you for that answer. The next question was from Brian, which was also about safety. So I feel like you answered that one already. So I'm going to go to the next one from James. And he is asking, I hope Nicaragua is open to all. Are there any age restrictions in any of the spots?
No, not at all. You know what? Nicaragua is actually quite. So I always say Nicaragua is for the curious and adventurous travel. And what we have seen over the years, especially during the pandemic, is that because it is a country that is a green, open space destination, it attracted a lot of multi-generational families. So, one of the wonderful things that we've seen over the past few years is an increase in terms of Canadian expats living in Nicaragua. And we're not talking only about snowbirders. We're actually talking about families with, young couples with kids moving to Nicaragua because they want to be able to raise their kids in an open space and, have a sense of community, have a sense of exploration. So there's no age restriction. So it is a destination for single travelers. It is a destination for families, multi-generationals. Is the perfect destination for somebody that wants to do surfing, kayaking, anything that has to do with the outdoors.
Thank you. Thanks for that. And what about technology? Shelley's asking, is Wi-Fi readily available? Like, is there like a lot of
100%.
Okay, great.
100%. Some of the local parks, believe you me, they are like, if you're wandering around the cities and you need to be connected with Wi-Fi, the local parks in the area, in the cities, you're just going, you're able to connect to free Wi-Fi. If you're digital nomad as well, if you want to, in the upcoming winter, if you want to be working in Nicaragua remotely, you're able to connect, digitally and, with very fast Wi-Fi connectivity.
Okay, thank you so much. Just going through, there's a few more questions here, but I feel like the questions that are being asked have all already been covered by Marlon. So if there was something that you feel didn't get covered in the question and answer period, please feel free to write that again in the Q&A, or you can also email me at webinars@travelweek.ca or get in touch with Marlon, and I'm sure he would be happy, or I would be happy to answer your questions. But I think we should move on now to the next very exciting part of this webinar, and that is the prize giveaway. So yay,
my favorite. Thank you so much
right.
for those wonderful questions. They're quite important because we can see that there. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
we
no,
can
please.
See that that there is a strong desire to learn about the destination. For years Nicaragua has been under the radar, and it's like I said, the perfect destination, for anybody that has a sense of adventure.
Yes.
So let's
absolutely.
get into the questions.
Yes, thank you so much for those questions, travel agent. And so now for this portion of the webinar, how it is going to work is I'm going to ask a question about Nicaragua from the Nicaragua presentation, and then the first agent who answers that question into the puts the answer to that question into the Q&A box will be the winner of that prize. And so there's 5 questions, and for each question there is a $50 Amazon gift card as the prize. So again, asking the question and then put your answer into the Q&A box, and I will see it there and we'll call it out. So number 1, the first question is, what is Nicaragua known as? What is Nicaragua known as? Okay. I see adventures. Okay. And so for the first answer that is right here, it would be Christina Ziegler. And she has said land of lakes and volcanoes. And that is the correct answer there. So Kristen, I'm just writing your name down here so I make sure I've got it. Congratulations. You are the first winner of the very first Amazon gift card. That was the correct answer. Nice try, everybody. There was some really good answers here as well. Okay, I'm just clearing the board so I can see who comes up first. And so our next question, number 2, is what type of traveler is Nicaragua best for? What type of traveler is Nicaragua best for? I'll give you a little clue. some of you answered part of this already in the last question. It is for this type of traveler and this type of traveler. One of them starts with an A. Yeah, okay, I have one that's very close. I'm seeing some people answer everyone, and while I'm sure that is not wrong, that's not the actual answer to this question. But so far I've got one sort of close answer. What do you think, Marlon? Should we go with that one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the first, Angela Porcelito, who says adventure. That is very, very good and spot on. Nicaragua is best for the curious and adventurous travelers. So I'm just gonna write your name down. Congratulations, Angela, on winning the prize for question 2. Okay, and now I am going to ask the third question, which is name 2 patrimonial / colonial cities in Nicaragua.
Very easy.
Name 2 patrimonial or colonial cities in Nicaragua. You've got this, guys. I know it. Wait a minute here. And then I can start giving out some clues. They were in the presentation. 2 patrimonial or colonial cities in Nicaragua. I will give the first clue. One starts with an L and one starts with a G. And just again, let me remind you, if you know the answer, put it into the Q&A box. So when you see, if you see the Q&A box at the bottom, just pop your answer in there, because I see if somebody with their hand raised. Kathy, if you want to put your answer into the Q&A. I'll ask one more time. What type of traveler? Oh, I'm sorry. Name 2 patrimonial colonial cities / colonial cities in Nicaragua. One starts with an L and one starts with a G. 101 people on here, and I know somebody knows the answer. Okay, here we go. Okay. I'm seeing, sorry, they came to the bottom, not to the top, and so I didn't see. And the winner is dun, 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 dun. Sorry, I'm going to the top. Chris, Alex, no, sorry. It is Paul Nielsen.
Hey,
Paul
hello,
Nielsen,
Paul.
congratulations. Sorry, it took me a minute to see that. Paul Nielsen, you are the winner of the 3rd prize there. Congratulations. Okay, and now we have on to question 4. How many new routes are there for Nicaragua currently? How many new routes? Okay, and the first answer comes from Cheryl. She is the winner. Congratulations, Cheryl Donovan. She is the winner with 12. There are 12 routes. Awesome. Okay.
And the last one, my
And
favorite.
the very last question for the end of this webinar today. Dun, 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 dun. Number 5, name 2 food dishes, 2 local Nicaraguan food dishes. Okay, and we have the first answer here is from Claire Godin, and she says fritanga and vigaron.
Perfect.
Okay, Claire.
Wonderful.
Godin. I'm just writing your name down. Okay, well, congratulations to Kristen, Angela, Paul, Cheryl, and Claire for being our prize winners today. I will get in contact with you shortly to connect you with Marlon, and then we can set up delivery of prize there. If for some reason you don't hear from me in the next little while, you can also email back at webinars@travelweek.ca. But with that, I would just like to say a very special thank you, first and foremost, to all our Travel Week participants today, everybody who came online and answered questions and participated in the giveaway. It was awesome to have you here and a lot of fun. And last but certainly not least, I would like to thank the amazing Marlon and Anna Carolina for being here today and for sharing with us so much about this gorgeous and amazing destination, Nicaragua. So thank you for being here, Anna and Marlon. Do you have anything that you'd like to close with?
No, we're excited. Thank you to Travel Week for being such a trusted partner, and to the travel advisors with, their questions and, wanting to learn more about the destination. So feel free to reach out to myself, to Anna, and to Travel Week directly. Anything that you want to know about the destination, information, images, and anything related to up and coming fam trips for 2024.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Everybody
care.
have a great rest of your day. Take care and bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Anna.
Bye.
Bye.